One more song, you want to go live?
One more song.
All right, let's. You left us here last week. Your old thing?
Oh, I did? That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You want to move it? I'll get you out the way. So you can send it to yourself. You hit the green mic and then move it to the side, out your way.
Yeah, all right, I would use this one.
Which one you want?
I'll use this one.
That's number one, it's number two. And the phone number is there, the card. Wiz, could you turn down mic 2, please? To your left. No, on your left, on the mixer. Number 2, turn down number 2. Number on the left, go all the way to your left. See, 1, 2 faders. Yeah, turn down fader. No, not the turn, the fade.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you gotta just turn. Yeah, number 2.
Right here.
Yeah, fade it all the way down. Let me see your hand, please. No, you're turning. Fade is just a fade.
Right here.
You're not turning no knobs, are you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're talking about this right here, isn't it?
You're fading or you're
Yo,
turning
DNA, your building must have something against people using their phones because they don't have no good service in here whatsoever.
Yeah, that's what this the first time. He's like, yo.
No, you say you turn. That's not that fade.
No, I heard this one. Oh, yeah, no. He said no. When I was right here, he's like, no.
Oh, no,
Oh, no.
He's on the green.
Okay.
You gonna be right here on the black?
Yeah, I see.
Bring you up to What were you saying, Rob?
I said, your building must have a vendetta against people using their phone and having services because there is no service in the building. Like every once in a while.
Once you restart, when you come in, that helps. Just restart. You can't stop the revenge. You just go back to where you were sitting once you start. Okay, you straight?
Yeah, it's reloading now.
Just mic up there, right? Right here. Right. Yeah. Plug that in, she gets it. Now your space is cool. Drinks are right there on the side.
Thank you.
It's my cute. Hurry up.
All right, Facebook. Just give me 1 second. Just getting my phone ready so I can go live on my page as well. But how's everybody doing? What up, KYs? 5,000. What up? What up? What up?
He sounds so sexy. I used to use puppy. We at DNAradio.net are here to uplift and inspire our listening audience.
Ready?
One of the ways we do this is by having thoughtful and meaningful conversation. We understand and appreciate passionate responses. Therefore, we respectfully ask everyone to be mindful of what you say and how you say it.
What up? What up? What up? What's going on? This is DNAradio.net presents BU and BU Nation with your boy Rockman. What's going on? We here at BU. We're a live interactive radio program for our brothers and sisters within the SGL, or same gender loving community. As you know, June is Pride Month, and not just that, it's also Pride Month in our city here in New York City. Brooklyn just had a Pride, so shout out to there. Hope everybody enjoyed the festivities and everything. DC just had a Pride, I think, last month, but the main event starts pretty much the last week of June. So if y'all want to come down, enjoy, embrace the culture, and see what our brothers and our sisters have to offer. But here at BU, and always be true to ourselves. To be true to yourself takes courage. It requires you to be introspective, sincere, open-minded, and fair. It does not mean that you are not considerate or you're disrespectful towards others. It means that you will not let others define you or make decisions for you. That should be made for yourself. BU on DNAradio.net is a radio program to help support and uplift our brothers and sisters within our same gender loving community and our download communities. But again, just want to say, I'm thankful for being here. It's my 5th week so far. So far, you guys have been pretty kind, tuning in every week to see what your boy Rock has to say.
Hmm?
Oh.
That's your copy.
Wait. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. All right. But furthermore, like I said, we are a dialogue, not a monologue. So I definitely want to hear your voice. If you can call us. We're here live right now. We're taking callers at 917-727-8020. Again, that's 917-727-8020.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm. All right. Again, like I said, we are a dialogue, not monologue. So, your voices definitely need to be heard from time to time. We got Wiz in the building. We got DNA in the building. We're here.
What's up? What's going on?
All righty. Again, we're here the staff, and we like to think of ourselves as, an extended family. So anybody who, feels like they don't have a place or they're not welcome, you're definitely welcome with us. But anyway, let's get started. Today, I would like to bring up an interesting topic. My topic is on presentation and preferences. And I'm going to let that marinate and sink in for a little bit. Basically, I'm going to start on the presentation part of it. The presentation, basically no different than if, in the heterosexual community, presentation is really about how one presents themselves. And, we all feel like we want certain things when it comes to, the laws of attraction, what, we're interested in. So if anything, how do you go about to present yourself, whether you're looking for sex, dating, their body, skills, looks, the energy, their mental, their spirit, natural attraction, whether they're superficial, materialistic, and or how to deal with certain issues when they arise. The preferences part, like I said, within our community, you wouldn't think there's some kind of crime going on. A lot of people feel like if they down on their luck, they just they feel like certain people that they're attracted to shouldn't, have a preference. But then why do you have a preference for that individual that you feel like you're pursuing? But anyway, back to my presentation. How do you present yourself when you feel like, you see somebody, you see a sexy girl at the club, you see a sexy dude at the club? What do you go about, to say, hey, like, I think you're attractive, you're cute, you're sexy, you're hot, you're dope. Anyway, what up, Jesse? Jesse Del Mar, I see you up in the house. But yeah, that's definitely something to think about. And of course, with the certain females, they definitely about their bag and whatnot. But then, what happens when the brother doesn't come and approach her for those things? Does she sit down and wait? Does she sit there and think that there's something wrong with her, or does she just pursue on to the next, unsuspecting victim?
So, Rockman, let's repeat the question again.
Um, as far as presentation, how do you present yourself if you feel like you want to talk to somebody, you meet somebody in the club, and let's say sex is your game? How would you go to approach that person and hopefully get a favorable response?
First, I just vibe, I just peep how she acting. I see all the brothers who shutting it down. I mean, who she shutting down, and see it come because it's all about energy.
Exactly.
Their energy and stuff. So we just gotta rock off of that because everybody's gonna be like, "Hey, mom, put the line, show mom, kind of like train." Sometimes you just gotta come in there like, "Shh, dude's acting crazy out here."
Now it's really about the agenda. Like when you know how to, go about things, you know exactly how to approach and do things. But then some people, especially females, they have this kind of, I guess you say, like they like the ego stroke too, no different than we do. Um, but then they feel some kind of way when a brother won't approach them or kind of, I guess, make a train wreck of trying to, kick game or whatnot.
Because sometimes, like I said, some guys be intimidated, you know. And I just saw like a post, like a woman was talking about how they would holler at a man, like by him. And this is a line she was like, I was like, bartender, you see that man over there? Buy that sexy man. I'm buying him no drinks. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, wait, hold on. It's like, it's with us, we would be all intimidated and like, yo, they must have been like, yo, what the hell is going on?
Shit,
But
for real.
For men to do that, they look like we're desperate. You understand?
No, but I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I can only speak from my experience. It seems like women want men to kind of go and like try at least 5 or 6 different approaches before they give you a favorable response to let you know if you're wasting your time or if you're interested or not.
True. I saw that type of energy, that vibe, where they be shutting down like. Sometimes we don't take the road that they do. You see it? Sometimes it's all about jumping out the window. Sometimes you just gotta shoot your shot.
And I know some brothers do, and I've seen it. Some of them had I watched brothers in action. Some of them had legitimate approach, and I was like, wow, like this dude got game. He know how to talk. He did that. And sometimes they shut him down, but I don't know. I just think that certain women could do it, and it's okay because they know they're working their power and they can do it. There's nothing wrong with playing with it. But then I hear so many sisters argue and say, and get bent out shit like, we're the good man. But they think, brothers who are brothers like me, they tend to, choose other options and whatnot. And they get upset because they don't get that choice. But then I say it's not even that they get the choice. It's just that like, yo, if you're going to be like this with it, then I'll put you on the sideline and I'll entertain something else until you feel like you're ready to step out that zone. Then there ain't going to be no, I'm going to chase after you. I want to see that, hey, you would come for me as well. It's supposed to be mutual, two-way street.
Good question, Rob.
What's up?
So how would you rate last night at the Schaumburg? What's your
the energy was definitely up there. It was a good experience to see my, what up, Lee? What up, Trower? Lee Trower? It was just it's nice to be around something that's different, something that you're always not accustomed to doing, and seeing just people just be themselves, just enjoying around them and not have, and everybody showed love. The energy was good. Anybody could come in and just feel welcome.
So any hot dates trying to take you home last night?
I mean, I had a couple of admirers, lookers, but not for that. But I was really just spectating pretty much.
By standing next to me, but you and I were together. I didn't want to approach you.
Yeah. To tell you the truth, that was kind of not that I was there, to utilize, you being that, but it was kind of good. What up, Zachary? Zachary Man Smith.
But you were quite famous. I mean, you knew more people than I did.
I mean,
I guess you're young and beautiful, so you have that privilege.
Nah, it was just people from my past who knew me, and they knew good energy and good vibes, and I was,
Signing autographs and everything.
Yeah, nobody knew that. I was
Man, can I get an autograph? Yeah, can I take some pictures?
I was incognito that day.
Was in the building.
But
it was a nice experience.
Oh no, it was. I liked the energy and the unity that people had. It was good. It was a lot of fun than being in a club,
For me, it was a little too old for my taste. I prefer a younger crowd because of the rap and hip hop.
But you see some of the younger people there. They were.
It's just too much disco. Boom, 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 boom. And you know what? I did enjoy watching them. I haven't seen people Vogue in front of me in years. Like when I was in my 20s, when that Vogue stuff, I first saw, and now years later, it was nice to see it live. You see it on YouTube.
What up, Malachi?
It was nice to see people actually doing it in your presence.
No, I mean I've seen people doing headstands, and it was really just the energy that I was able to embrace. Because if I don't know people or establish, I'd rather kind of just stay to myself. But it was good to kind of actually be there. I mean, I had you to be there with, so that was definitely and I don't often get to observe and watch people in that capacity. So that was definitely a nice experience for me.
Well, one of the guys, they come to me and say, your friend is kind of cute. I introduced you to him. The guy he kept staring. I thought he was one of my former customers from the clubs, downtown. And he said, he just wanted to stare at you.
Are you talking about the Wakandan?
Yeah.
What?
I was about, how do you guys describe Wakanda?
Just African delight, just Nubian goodness, just a whole bunch of
chocolate joy. So,
well,
what about African brothers? It was real nice. The way he introduced himself was really nice and pleasant.
What is your friend? I want to meet him now.
Are you guys together?
Nah, but
together?
Sometimes it's just nice that people can be so flattered that they don't know how to talk to you, so then they'll talk to you talking to your friend or their friend, or they'll send somebody over there to come say what's up, and I'm like, okay, send them on over here. I won't bite them. But yeah.
What's that topic again, bro?
All right, it's about presentation and preferences. I said about the sex part. Sex with your game. There's nothing wrong, and I even say even in the heterosexual community. Fellas, there's nothing wrong with telling a female or a lady that, you're interested in that. But unfortunately, yes, it's true. Once you come, with some kind of direct approach like that, you may not get it. But then look at it. I mean, if she's quality and she has that goodness, or she a bad chick like that, why would you think that you could just say whatever and that she would just go for it? You know how many brothers would definitely want to, go for that, get at that? I understand it. And again, I only say that because the more of us that are smart and wiser about how we approach females, the more likely that they would have to kind of clean up their game and say, hey, look, not every brother's the same. Then they would have to acknowledge some of us who wouldn't disrespect or do it for the wrong reasons. Because I believe if somebody's trying to be with you and sex is not their game, why would you be apprehensive? Unless you feel like they're not right for you, then I could see you say, no, thank you, or I'm good. But then again, the ego of certain women, they don't like that. They still want you to approach, even knowing that they don't want to give you the time of day, but they like the satisfaction knowing that you would chase and pursue them. But anyway, my next one would be, now, yes, on a dating. If you're interested in dating, relationship, etc., I believe that there's, different stages. But then I'm going to touch on the preferences part. The heterosexual community don't believe we have preferences. A lot of people, I had a couple friends in my past who they knew that I was bisexual, and they knew that, men are my choice. They're like, oh, I got a person for you. They bring out this dude who obviously he wasn't a dude, but he was, a little feminine and ladylike for my choice. But and I was saying to them, do they realize that we have preferences? Just because they like men doesn't mean that we're compatible or we fit in the same thing. And they would, tend to bring that to you. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather, if I'm going to, holler at somebody, I'd rather do it on my own. I'll be out there in the streets by myself, whether you see me in the club, you see me in the bar. And I just pretty much go on because I know I got my own thing. And people feel more comfortable approaching me if they see me by myself. I go to a bar, like if I, especially if I don't know people, I'll just go to the bar, order me a few drinks, and people find it fascinating that a dude who's attractive is there at the bar buying his own drinks and nobody's in his face or, try to get games. What up, Regina? Regina Maya, Bernice Johnson, oh, and Ray Clay up in the house. Um, but next we go again, like I said, with preferences. We have our choices of what we feel is good for us and what's right for us. No different than if we were heterosexual. Again, a lot of things I want to talk about. I'm going to really talk about, from my perspective. But I'm also speaking for some of the brothers who may think or feel along the same lines of how I feel. Of course, the part of talking to somebody next would be, their body, what you see. I'm not talking about like, certain assets. I'm talking about what you see as far as their face, facial expression, body chemistry, just the energy itself. Like my man Wiz was saying about, when it comes to energy, sometimes people don't see that. And I think body language is a big, step and a big part of, identify if, something could go or it could go and progress to the next level. So, what are your thoughts on presentation or preferences? Again, I mean, I got more, but I'm going to reveal more as the time goes on. But again, hit us up on that number. We're live right now, 917-727-8020. Again, that's 917-727-8020. Yeah, like I said, I would definitely like to hear some of them interesting voices to see what, some of these great minds out here is thinking, what my brothers and sisters are thinking. Okay, what up, Mr. Prakash, Mr. Singh over there? And I know you, happy Gemini season, by the way. Don't think I didn't forget. But, of all people, why don't you type up something? Let them know how smart their intellect is. Not all Gemini are bad people. All right, I'm going to move on to the next. Next, we talk about skills. To me, I think skills come basically from establishing a connection with that person of your choice, and you would figure out what they're about. You open up the lines of communication. You build some kind of foundation, some kind of principle and guidelines because it's between two people, two adults, whether it's sex, dating, or relationships. There's a certain guideline or protocol that we should all follow, because we're all adults. Next, definitely, like I said, well, I skipped one. I went straight to body. I should have went on the looks, basically. But yeah, but I'll focus on the body now. Of course, I'm going to say to the fellas, of course, one of the main things about a female that we definitely find attractive is the body. And it shouldn't be about that. But the sad part about this, and it goes in any community, we never talk about the important things of, having communication with people on that level. Again, even sex, people have to communicate, not just read how your body reacts to certain things, but as far as how the mind works when it comes to, if you want to indulge or engage in something, um, some people tend to want things that they feel like they can't have. And again, that's not saying you can't have what you want, but you got to be smart about it. You got to be a little bit more diligent and identify who that individual is. You don't have to know them to know where you stand with certain things. If you would go and approach a certain way, if again, you would get a favorable response. Next will be energy. What is your presentation for energy? What kind of energy do you project in order for the ideal person you feel is right for you or who would get the time of day? What kind of energy do you project to make them feel like, hey, yo, I want to see what you're about. You're fascinating. You're interesting. I like that. You're charismatic, etc. I'm actually going to elaborate on that a little bit. When I go out to a social place and I see people, I like to see people have fun. I like to watch other people interact and do things. And again, my whole part of what I said about presentation is I watch how people do things. What up, Chase? Mr. Godly, okay. Thank you for watching, my man. I just have to sit back and watch. I try to think of things. Like, no, we're not animals, but I use the approach of what, like I said, a lion does. A lion basically would watch their prey and see which one would be feasible to go for because the lion is an apex predator. They hunt. And they have to be smart about it, because if they don't do it right, they're going to waste energy, and that's more energy they would have to expend to get a meal. Because if they don't have a meal, then they're weakened, and a lion always has to stay up to par and in shape in order for it to catch its prey that it likes to eat. Silver Doobie, what up, man? So the lion would see a herd of animals, and they would know exactly which animal to attack. They're going to single it out, because you can't have any and everything. And again, waste energy. You got to show something for your time. So a lion is going to tactically learn who they could go after versus who they shouldn't go after. And the reason why a lion will come up to that conclusion about who they shouldn't go after, because of the effort they have to put in order to obtain that meal. So a lion is going to target the sick, the elderly, or the young. Because the young don't have that fight or flight response to avoid danger, because they haven't quite learned it yet from watching the herd that they're with. So within that note, like I said, the lion's going to go for the easiest meal possible. And that's not saying, we're human beings, but you got to be smart and wise about who you feel like you could approach. And again, where do you stand? Any comments so far? Hey, what's going on, Dawn? Glad you can make it. I'm glad to see you here. Happy Pride Month over there. Next is the mental. That's a big thing that people don't often focus on. The mental part, the mental stability of certain people. Dawn, hey. I ran into people several times that they definitely was kind of borderline crazy, sociopathic, psychopathic, whatever you name it. Yeah, they're out there, and I met them both male and female. And it's definitely not fun to deal with that, especially when somebody try to flip the script and turn things against you so that they could feel justified about craziness. Yes, definitely happy Pride. Again, are you able to sustain or be able to match what you are looking for? I'm going to get into details, and this is for my brothers and sisters within the same gender loving community. Would you be able to match what it is you're looking for? Again, I kind of touched upon it last week, but it was in a different topic, but now I'm going to use it in this light. Again, you're in the club scene. That's like one of the perfect places to, run into somebody, see what they do. Everybody's dressed in their best, looking good. Some people have that energy that's just invigorating, intoxicating, and you just have to have a piece of it. When you see somebody, are you able to sustain or be able to match? Can you have a conversation with them? Can you say something relatable that they would actually want to hear or listen to? Some people feel like, hey, they're the bee's knees, and they should be able to, they like you, they like what they see, so you're supposed to be receptive to what they feel they want from you, especially advancing. Granted, I could take a page from my book, but I'm trying to be, basic and try to say something that's, relatable to everybody. I'm sure we ran across those types of things. And again, tell me what your thoughts are. Hey, Sasha Garrett, thank you for watching. All right, the next one would be the natural attraction. Now, again, everybody's on the hunt and the prowl. Hey, what's going on, Isaiah? Whether it's male or female, again, whether you're same gender loving like myself, bisexual, pansexual, any kind of sexuality, heterosexual, we can't help who we're attracted to. For whatever reason, we have different ways which draw us to certain people. Again, we're human. We're a creation that God created, and God made some, pretty interesting ones of us that, I'm gonna say like we're better or we're greater than anybody, but we shine with a brightness and intensity that, some people are in awe when it comes to that. But yeah, for the heterosexual people out there who's tuning in, yeah, you'd be surprised. A lot of us have preferences. Yeah, even gay dudes have preferences. A friend of mine told me a story one day What up, Brandon? Brandon, Fashion B Solomon, what's going on? Um, a friend of mine told me a story about how he, in his youth, that he went to a club, he went to a bar, and a heterosexual friend of his came with him. At first he didn't want to go. He was like I don't want to go to no gay club. Like all these gay dudes gonna hit on me. He went in there, not a single person paid him any mind. I mean, and I'm not one to throw people around or shame people for what they look like or certain things, but like let's just say he was definitely overweight, and he felt some kind of way that nobody would talk to him. He thought because hey, I'm a heterosexual dude, all these dudes are girls and they want a man or a guy, so I gotta watch my dick or watch this or watch that, and nobody paid this dude any mind, and it was just so funny because you would think that a lot of people would be spooked about oh they this or they that or they heard that their homeboy they grew up with was on that shit or somebody that or they go to like a gym. 'Cause I hear a lot of crazy shit that when people go to gyms that dudes be doing things cruising. I'm like wow, that's not the place. Not all of us have that kind of you know ability or inability to want to do that or be on some disrespect. With me personally, I'm the type I would pretty much pick and choose. I know who I can and who I can't talk to, and basically I don't give a damn how good looking you are or what I might find appealing. You never know what's really going on up here. I'm the type where I'm not disrespectful. Trust me, if you're not looking for it, then I'm not looking for you.
Thank you.
Simple as that. I don't believe in going for something I know I can't have. I'm a Taurus, and I'm good at what I do, and I pretty much get what I want when I want it. But providing, like I said, I'm not arrogant about it. I just know where to go to get that. And then I say the last two topics, the best for last. They both kind of hand in hand, but they still their own unique, categories. Me personally. Hey, what up, Nick? Nicholas Clay, what up? What up? Another fellow Taurus right here. What up, my man? Um, I say superficial and materialistic. Now, granted, when you meet somebody in a social setting, you're not really thinking about that, but that's definitely something that's going to show up somewhere along the lines. And again, it all ties into communication about speaking your truth. I feel like a good female or a good dude would know their self worth and they would know how to apply themselves as far as where they feel like they want to do and where they aspiring towards and what they could actually really get. And again, you got pretentious people and arrogant people who think they deserve better, especially with the what up stormy weather. Some of them think that hey, I could do less and still get this result. I can still get this kind of quality. Anthony Hill, what up? What up? What up? And again, you know, fellows, ladies, we're human beings. We gotta tone it down. Some of the crazy stuff that we do, we're making it harder for the next person to shine. I look at it like this. I heard a line, and it was basically like it's really for like dudes going after dudes going after females. Like what they say, bad bitches ain't cheap. You better pass them if you're broke. If you're broke and you ain't got the chance to put up with somebody who's on that level with that status, then leave that for the next person who's able to sustain that individual of what they're looking for. See, my man even had to agree to that because that's the truth, yo. Let her be. Let her go pursue what she wants, what she knows is right for her. And then I can say the same with the fellas. Some of I don't hear too many, of the ladies actually pursuing the fellas. But for those of you who would, like, yeah, if you really found out that, dude is not really on that vibe and stuff, like, definitely, I would rather wait and bide my time for somebody who actually wants to invest in the same kind of energy that I'm willing to invest in. If you're not willing to match my energy, then you're not for me.
So, Rob,
What's up?
quick question. Don't get smacking on the sandwich. Anyway.
What up, Joshua? Joshua Daniels.
Joshua's in the house.
Yep.
Now, if you have a person, regardless of age, young or older, who's coming out to say for the first time and never was in same gender loving environment, you have any advice for that individual? How do they go about meeting their first acquaintance or date or whatever?
Hmm.
Any advice?
All right, my advice would be try to get up out there, get as much exposure. That doesn't mean do everything, but like surround yourself about people, talk, interact, ask questions, kind of. I mean, you would know yourself better than anybody, and that's kind of what I did when I first, in the beginning, it was kind of tough for me because there was still this stigma and the negativity and the stereotype attached to homosexuality, and I knew that didn't identify me, but because most people didn't learn to stop that, I just found men attractive. That's it. I didn't care about the culture, but I said all that stuff to say that, that was a beginning of my foundation. Now I'm an evolved person. I changed, but, it's really about exposure, make yourself a little available to do things, socialize, and interact with people. And you would learn things. And not just that, more importantly, you would learn where you feel you fit and where you see yourself. What up, Patience Kelly? What's going on?
So Rockman.
I'm sorry, real quick, DNA. I want to say the title of my topic was presentation and preferences, and I'm going to go back in a minute. But I talked so far about sex, dating, about the body, the looks, the energy, skills, mental, spiritual, natural attraction, and then superficial and materialistic.
So Rockman, when you first went out to a club or a bar, you went by yourself or you went with friends?
Initially, I went by myself, but I actually linked up with somebody who was interested in me that I met on the internet, and we met there. We went there together, and I didn't know these places existed, so but I went with them. But when I went there, it was an experience. It was like going to a zoo, and all the animal cages was unlocked and left open.
Wait a while. Think of a better analogy than that?
What?
That's what it felt. I mean, I'm only keeping it real. That's what the experiences was for me.
You're an animal lover. You mean something on mouth.
But we're all animals too, though. We just have a higher way of thinking. We're more evolved in our livelihood and life form of we're more complex than they are.
Okay, so you go to this venue and the cages are open. You feel like you were red meat walking into.
New meat, fresh meat, whatever kind of meat. It was just. I mean, I felt it. I felt some places I felt like okay, I was empowered and I was cool. And other places I felt like wow, like I'm in this big ass jungle, and or this like it's like throwing a goldfish in the ocean. Instead of a fish tank or a little fish bowl, you get thrown into the ocean, and it's just like anything can happen.
So was it a huge club or a small bar?
It was actually a pretty huge one. They had
Oh,
that was the first time I seen a drag show, and I'm not against like transgender or anything because they're part of our family too. It's just that I wasn't really a fan of that even back then. I would say I have more of an appreciation of it now than I did back then because back then, I mean, I was young. I mean, I'm still young, but I was young in the sense that I didn't care about that. All I cared about like I want to see hot, gorgeous, sexy guys.
so I agree with you. In regards to the transgender trannies, drag queens, I take my hat off to them because they have a lot of courage.
No, they do. They
Put
do.
on, I don't want to call it costumes, but I have another word for it. They dress up and put on the outfits, call it outfits. When they dress up and put on the outfits, that's courage right there. I don't know how they do it. God bless them, but
It's really about like you said. Think about our programs called Be You. They're proud to embrace being them.
okay. I guess being a dog is not them, so being a woman is them, so they feel very comfortable in their skin for the most part.
Well, thank you for your compliment, Patience. But yeah, again, I'm gonna elaborate more about this superficial and materialistic movement. Yeah, some of them they may not, love or actually being connected or bonded with somebody may not be their goal, but at the end of the day, they're still looking for something. But then I find it funny that they don't seem to find each other. That way of thinking, you would think that a person would be more connected with being around somebody who thinks and feels the same way they feel about, like, oh, I don't really want to, bond with somebody like that. I'm all about this. This is what I'm available for. And that should have been actually a part of this too. I should have said about like availability. Some people aren't mentally available for certain things to cultivate and build, but yet they choose that particular individual who may value that. Again, call us live, please. 917-727-8020. Again, 917-727-8020. For those of you who just came in, again, the topic is about presentation and preferences, and of course for our heterosexual fan base, yeah, a lot of whether you're gay, bisexual, down low, pansexual, or if you're just anybody who's in our same gender loving community, yeah, we have preferences. No different than a heterosexual man has a preference for a certain type of women, or women have a certain type of preference for certain type of men. We got nerds, we got thugs, we got gangsters. We got certain like uppity, bougie, all different types of people that different attributes and characteristics that define us as human beings. That at any given time, in this infinite possibilities, you could find people attractive. But again, now back to what I was saying about superficial, materialistic. Superficial, obviously, is based about the looks. Maybe they might dress a certain way. They have certain kind of refinements and appeal. And of course, most of it tends to be about sex appeal and of course, definitely the body. Now, I say it like this: there's nothing wrong for finding your mate or somebody that you want to kick it with attractive. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But again, it's not talking about it isn't the problem. Not talking about it is the problem because people don't know how to talk about it and know the right way to do it. Because at the end of the day, we're all adults. We're all going to have sex at some point. And my point is, I'd rather be with somebody who I find appealing and attractive that suits my needs. So that at the end of the day, I'm not thinking about trying to be with somebody else. Because as men, I would say this is why most men would cheat. And I'm not going to say that I condone it. All I'm saying is that it's the reality, and I choose to acknowledge it. Yeah, usually, and it's not even just about even that. Not all people cheat. What up, Eddie? Oh, this is a name or a face I haven't seen in a long time. I was thinking about you the other day about filling the stocks in the cooler and that store I used to work at in Mastic, the handy pantry. Yeah, you remember that? And yo, I was the first black person to work in that store, by the way. But yeah, it's really about matching. And again, when it comes to being superficial, you choose somebody based on their looks, and that's all you see. Then again, you get what you look for. What if that person is really ugly inside, or they have very fucked up qualities that doesn't really quite compliment you as a partner? Again, that would go along the lines as to why somebody would cheat. Again, yeah, back now I got my thought back. What up, Elijah? Mr. King, and Leo season's coming pretty soon. I mean, we're a little bit of ways, but it's right around the corner because we're about to reach crybaby season. Cancer. But I still have my love for cancers. I have a couple of good cancer friends, so yeah. Some of y'all are some tough people, but but yeah, I could think of many things and many reasons why a man would cheat, and I think in my overall university, it's really the mental part. And I think certain women don't pay attention to our mental capacity and the fact that we may not be as intuitive or in touch with our emotions the way certain women are, but we do have them. We're human beings. Women are supposed to be our counterparts. Good or bad, they can match us in every way. And I think that's amazing, to find that. And that's the kind of woman I would like to be with if, she's available out there. But until then, I'm not going to really waste my time pursuing something. If there's too much stuff out there, there's too many distractions, and I'd rather not compete against those distractions.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
All right.
Okay. So
they don't hear you.
You know him? Oh, he turned off my mic.
I don't know what number it is over there.
But so go ahead. All
right. Give me 1 second. My boy wants to ask me a question, but I'm gonna get back to you, Liz. But yeah. It's really the mental part. And then again, and I said, brothers, fellas, you got to do yourself a service and a favor. Stop just picking some female randomly because this is what you want at the moment, knowing that in the long term you have a taste for something else. Be as smart as the lion. Go for a meal that would be satisfying, that you don't go over there looking for, entertaining shit that you don't have. There's a reason why women all think we're the same and why some of them won't give us the time of day, even if we mean well. I think you got to turn the wizard's mic on. But I'm saying though, so far I've been saying things, and I want to hear what some of you viewers who's watching. What up, Q-Taba? Oh wait, I think we got yeah, that's Charm, yeah.
Probably. So you were saying you said the mental. So
your mic's still not.
it's still. I'm gonna come around here.
This one, yeah.
1 2 1 2. Hear me?
Wait.
That's good too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait.
Yeah,
Yes.
all right.
I got it.
All right.
Yes, I hear it making feedback. And
DNA
stuff.
said be quiet. No, I'm just joking, DNA.
Kitaba Alakash, what up, man? Oh snap! I don't know if this is my brother Larry or this is my nephew Larry / cousin, but what up, man? What up, Mr. J, Mr. James? Yeah, I love my friends and my family. They're very supportive, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in and giving me the courage. And I'm thankful that you guys were my foundation to help me find that peace to know how to speak and talk to people. But you got your mic on, Wiz?
Yeah.
All right.
So you said like the mental part. It's not. You don't think it's also physical?
I think it eventually does turn to, because people forget the mental part of having sex. Even when you're engaged in the physical part of having sex, there's still mental things going on, and sometimes women don't know how to, cater to that part of us. And again, as men, we're natural primal people, and then of course we're a little bit more physical on certain levels. And then when the mental's not, satisfied, fulfilled, it tends to make your mind wander. And the thing, remember, we're men. We have that predatory, thing about, oh, I want to see if I can get that. Can I conquer that? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Now, if you have the right woman that's by your side, and she gets to that mental part, we're not thinking about like that, because we have the best thing that we could ever actually really get.
Okay. I just wanted to put that out there.
No, that was a pretty good question, by the way. But yeah, y'all heard it from the man himself, man. Like, this is the living legend right here.
I say, what about emotion?
Now, emotion, that could tie into it too, but I feel like there's very rare cases where a man would do that, but we can get that no different than women. And in fact, that's kind of why women would cheat. It's more of an emotional thing. Of course, even if the sex is good and it's mind blowing, and you know what I'm saying, and you can hit the spot all the time, if the man's not doing the other things right on the other levels that matter just as much to her, and you don't pay attention, yeah, she'll walk out on you.
I would think it's also physical and emotional, but as far as with a woman, as far as checking out, it depends if how deep and what caused the woman's, like if it's pain or something. Because once a woman's emotion leaves, it's a relationship is over.
It's over, yeah, pretty much. Not even that. No, even mentally, if a woman leaves the relationship, because she still may feel emotionally attached to you. She may still care about you. She may still love you.
It's not the same.
No, it's not.
Touch and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like physical, she'll be there still have like a hug.
But mentally, she's gone. That's an empty shell, by the way, fellas. So if you don't pay attention and you make your girl mentally and emotionally leave you, you're dealing with an empty shell at this point. No, sir. What up, Julius Moses? What up, Jason D? For you fellows who just joined in, the topic is about presentation and preferences. I was basically informing our viewers that in us in the same gender loving community, we all have preferences, and sometimes heterosexual people don't think we have preferences.
Well, I just learned.
What up, Patrick? Patrick Milton. Okay.
So Rock, aka Rockman, why do you seem to always have to concern yourself with what heterosexuals are thinking about the homosexual, same gender loving, gay, LGBTQ community? I mean, you're in your own world. What do you care if they approve of whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Well, think about it. For starters, like I said, when I heard that story that my friend told me about a gym, he said there's this gay dude who was outlandishly gay. He was flamboyant, and that's not saying all feminine flamboyant dudes do that. What up, Patrick? And what up? Who is it? Sir Nino. Like, he was basically walking around trying to cruise in the locker room, trying to watch dudes get undressed and stuff. And it's bad enough there's already a negative stigma attached to homosexuality. But then when bad people like that do things like that, it's like they just throw a blanket over us all, say that we're all the same. And I'd rather not be condemned for something I know I would never do. Like nobody would never know that a man is my preference or my choice unless I want them to know. I don't go on my way to hide it, but I'm not broadcasting or being in your face about it or being disrespectful. And I'm very comfortable with my sexuality. But there's no need for me to, it's like if I had superpowers, nobody's gonna know I'm Spider-Man. I'm gonna have a mask on because I don't want it. I don't want the publicity or the glory of having these skills. So when I take it off, I could be corny as Peter Parker or I could be corny as Clark Kent, where nobody pays me no mind because I'm goofy and ain't shit special about this dude.
So the individual at the gym, maybe this is the only place he has a chance to see other men half naked. So he's like a kid in a candy store that has no control. He's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Maybe. That's
foolishness. That's not an adult then. A real adult would know the place, the proper place. There's a place and a time for these things. And the point is, he's probably a drag. I mean, I don't know who this individual is. I'm just going by what was told for me. But he's probably a drag in the sense that even if he was to go out to a place, nobody would want him because the way his presentation, the way he represents himself, he may not get the people he feels he wants. So the only way he can actually see those things is in that. But then you're going at other people's expenses. You're invading their privacy. You're creeping them out. You're making them feel.
You going in with
look at you. Look. Okay. Right. Season 1 is dead. I like your hair.
Thank you. Go back to your story. Hi, Brandon. This is Charms.
Charms in the building.
Yes, the female princess, the female Torian right there. Yes, she'll light it up and let you have it.
So how old? What age group is this individual there? Like 18 to 25, 55 to 60?
I would say anywhere from maybe 18 to 30. I say. Because there's people that like I'm 37, but there's people like around my age and maybe a little bit younger or even a little bit older who would do the same thing too. And I find that highly disrespectful. Like, again, I'm gonna tell you like this. Yeah, I'm nasty. I'm a freak, but guess what? Nobody will ever know. The only people that's gonna know is the people I want to know that I have an interest in.
Your bed partner or your playmate, right?
Well, if I had one, but
No, I'm saying the individual will only know because they're in bed with you or they're playing with you.
Oh yeah, pretty much. Only the individual who I'm actually, trying to get would know these things.
Right. So there's this young individual between the ages of 18 to 25. His first time ever seeing other bodies besides his own, and he's going cuckoo.
He wouldn't do that. He would be smart about it. Like even when I was.
No, I'm saying you tell me in real life, the person you're talking about in the gym.
No, I know. I kind of. Well, again, I can't say I know for sure, but I get the feeling that.
Hearsay. You hear somebody telling you the story of what's going on in the gym.
Yeah, but the way they expressed it, they gave me a little commentary like he was walking around with his phone, like trying to hide it, like as if he's like filming and recording people, which is again highly disrespectful. Like
people undressing in the gym trying to record.
Yeah. So his own little personal that's almost like creepy. That's almost like pedophile-ish kind of like. You know what I'm saying?
Not really pedophile.
These
are all grown men.
No, of course, but think about what a pedophile do. They'll go to a playground, watch little kids, do things and try to plot and plan to see what they could do, maybe abduction. I mean, I'm just giving an example of what it is. That's kind of creepy. You don't do that. It's creepy for a grown adult to be looking at a kid. But now think about what a gay man in a gym, and you are like that. There's plenty of places you could go that have that. Go buy a video or something. I mean.
But is he trying to videotape this on his cell phone to put up on Instagram, Snapchat?
It could be a possibility. Listen, I watch Tumblr, and there's a lot of stuff like that. I've seen people getting recorded in the bathroom, beating off, and I've yet to see something like that. Not that I want to, because that's a public place.
So it's like spy cam. So you like a spy cam guy?
Yeah, and again, that's an invasion of privacy. You don't do that. There's a reason why those types of dudes, why they're ready to fight and they want to beat up, people. They find out that you with it like that because they don't realize that not everybody's disrespectful like that. And
so he's a bad representation of saying gay LGBT.
A very bad one. He's definitely that one bad apple that would spoil a bunch.
So when you say you're LGBT. Singular gay, they'll think you the same way because of that individual they met 2 years ago, 2 days ago, 2 minutes ago.
Pretty much.
Okay. So why don't somebody call security and report the dude?
Some of them do. They say things like, they'll tell the people, at the gym and stuff. I mean, I don't know. Because I don't go to the gym with, those things. These are just these soap opera stories that they told me. And mind you, I used to work at a bathhouse, which is the facility for that. And even then, they're worse than that. I mean, in a facility that institutes that,
Well, gyms and bathhouses are almost the same, but different. Is that correct?
I don't know. I try not to say the same thing. One caters towards sex, one caters towards I'm working out and I'm minding my business. I put my music, my headphones on, and I tune the whole world out. I don't have time to entertain all these other stuff. If you want to talk to me after I'm done with my workout. If you see me going outside when I catch the bus or whatever, when I'm on my way home, then do it. But when I'm on the floor, when I'm at my job, if I'm behind the cash register, I don't really want to entertain, people trying to say something to me. The only people I would entertain is if a female came to me.
Not bad.
Well, yeah, because I get the wrong people who I would never get a time of day, even if we was in a appropriate place where we had our clothes on, like at a club or we had a dance hall or something.
So why do you keep attracting all these undesirables according to your taste?
Well, part of it is because of my energy that I command. I have a welcoming, friendly energy that, but that doesn't mean like, oh, I want to go home with you and, or buy me something.
Oh, because you're friendly, they assume you're easy pickup.
Well, not to that. No, the energy says, hey, I welcome people. I don't judge people. So people feel more comfortable to be themselves when they're around me. They tend to let the inhibitions go at times.
So because you're a nice, friendly guy to strangers, they assume they can go the next step and the next whatever. Is that correct? I'm just asking you a question. Why are you laughing? I don't get it.
Because I'm thinking of stuff that I shouldn't be thinking about right now.
Oh, okay. So I lost my train of thought.
No, I mean, but then again, sometimes quality, and I would say like this. I'll get in a little bit more in depth. Let's use the top bottom things. A lot of tops and bottoms find me attractive. We'll use.
Well, I mean, is there in between? What do you say?
I guess
top 10 bottoms. There's nothing else.
Well, I mean, of course, okay, versatile people, you want to throw them at it because they could go either way, and obviously,
I don't see no difference. I mean, top bottom, same thing.
No, with them, sometimes they feel like a nut, and sometimes they don't.
So you're saying that versatile people don't find you attractive?
Oh no, they do, but more than likely, whatever they're feeling at that moment, that's pretty much what they would pursue me for. So if they're versatile and they feel like they want to fuck, then they're gonna come at me, basically present themselves like they're top and they're interested in my ass for some reason.
So the top will approach you thinking he can bottom you, and the bottom will approach you thinking you can top them.
The way I think the reason why most tops approach me is because they see me as a challenge. They see something desirable that most bottoms aren't having. And that's not saying bottoms are bad at their job, because bottoms is the same way. Some of them ignore the tops that's really slinging dick probably more than I would, because I require more than, I like you, I think you're cute.
Oh, you're so deep, I'm losing you.
Let me see if the phone goes on.
Wait, it's not this one right here, right?
Yeah.
No, it is, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we got a caller.
Just swipe up and put the speaker.
It went out.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I picked up the phone in the studio.
It was.
Back over. Can you pick it up over there?
Can
you just call right back? I picked up the wrong phone.
Yeah, tell him to call back.
Call right back. Go. 2 seconds. Okay, 2 seconds. Thank you.
Oh wow, we got my first caller. Okay.
You got to handle it? You want to help me out with it?
Okay. As soon as you call, I'll swipe it. Oh, Linda. Oh my God. Linda, what's going on?
So you calling back? The number is 917-727-8020. Once again, that's 917-727-8020. Is this my phone? Okay, so call us back because I picked up the wrong line. My mistake. My bad.
But I think you said back to your question. Yeah.
This one. Answer this, put it right here.
All right.
You can stay over there where you want to help out. Bring it.
All right, caller, we waiting for you to call back. I definitely want to hear that voice.
Yeah, I won't pick up this time. That was for Rockman. That's you, Rock.
Put on speaker.
Yep. What up, caller?
Yeah, put on speaker first.
Oh.
Top. Right
there. I think that most homosexuals feel that every public place, it seems to me that every public place.
Caller, start again because your level was down. Start talking.
No, it's a scam. It's the same guy from last week, didn't it?
Yeah. You can tell?
Yeah. But no, sometimes it come up as spam, but not.
Yeah, but what he was saying, he wasn't.
What was he saying?
Yeah, he was saying some crazy mess.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, I was hoping that somebody legitimate that could kind of get the ball rolling.
Okay, so you got to scroll down so we can read some. like that, because that computer is kind of.
Okay.
Share live.
Okay, we're live. As you say, this is live radio. Live. We're live on radio around the world. DNAradio.net. We're also live on Facebook, and our Facebook page is Andy Lee, my assistant. So feel free to come to Facebook and click on Andy Lee, and you'll see the DNA Radio logo. We're also live on YouTube. That's DNAradio.net.
What up,
then
man?
we're live on Instagram. Is that the same call or different call?
Yeah, find out. Let me find. We got to screen our calls. I'm gonna read Calvin's. What up, Calvin Green? Yeah. He says that's true, and it's bad.
Yes.
Other gay men moving in the public place.
Hello?
Yes, because again, not many people want to.
Wait, slow down. Read that again.
Okay, hold on. Okay.
We'll get back to Calvin.
Okay. Hold on. Give me a minute, caller.
Okay, we're setting up the volume over here, caller, so you'll be on in a second.
Okay.
Go
ahead, caller.
You're on live.
Hi, okay, I have a question because you said that you are bisexual. So I wanted to know, do you see yourself getting married? And if so, do you have a preference as far as gender in marriage?
That's a pretty interesting question. Yeah, I do see myself getting married, and it could be either way. But let's just say I have my hopes set for marrying a female, but I'm open for guys as well. I would say I don't really have no preference whether it be, as long as I get individual, male or female, that we're connected, mind, body, and soul, and I have to do less work, meaning that we're into each other. And I'm basically open for that, and if it doesn't come along, I have other options that I'm open for until that time comes for me to get the main thing that I'm actually looking for.
Okay, all right, that was a great answer. And I really like your show, and I'll be tuning in.
Thank you. Please do definitely tell your friends. I definitely want to hear more, and I'll be more than happy to answer any question when
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care, and thank you for calling.
Okay.
All right, bye bye.
Thank you for calling. The number down here is 917-727-8020. One more time. It's 917-727-8020. Call us live on the radio, live in the studio. This is BU and BU Nation with your host, Rock, a.k.a. Rockman. We're on the radio live and on social media live. Quick question, Rock.
What's going on, DNA?
Do you think it's legal to have a female wife? Could you marry a female and then also marry a male at the same time? Is that legal?
I have no idea, but and if it was, I wouldn't, because I can only be for me. I would only want to marry one. But like I said, I'm open to the option where if my girl's okay with me, fooling around with a dude, you know what I'm saying?
Why do you call it fooling around?
Because that's all I would actually do with him. We wouldn't actually have like intercourse or nothing like that. My intercourse would be for her. I'll go home when I want to do that. I'm going home to her to do that with.
So when you say fooling around, to me, when a person says fooling around, it's like two straight guys humping.
I mean, we could do that. We could do that too. I haven't did that in a while, but we could do it with the clothes on or off. It don't really matter, But
So fooling around is nothing major.
Nah.
No penetration.
Nah.
No sucking dick.
Oh no, we're doing that. We're definitely doing that.
Okay, licking balls.
Yeah.
Tugging the booty hole.
all right. You say too much over there now, DNA.
I'm just directing. Lights, camera, action.
Directing. You know what?
Let's get some action over here. Put that tongue a little deeper in there. I'm trying to zoom in on that. Closer. I'm just joking. Just joking. Chocolate joy. Chocolate joy.
No, it is. It's a wonderful thing with the right thing. But my whole thing is really about that connection. If I could share a real good connection with somebody, then there's no need to entertain more than what I should, because I have a person that would, fulfill whatever it is that could satisfy my mind and the rest of me without having to want more than what I need.
Satisfy my mind. Are you not satisfied my mind? Just because of the words you're using. Are you hard to satisfy?
Not really. I'm pretty.
Can't get no.
I feel like I'm pretty easy.
Rolling before your time.
But I understand that. And I try.
Please, are you hard to satisfy?
No, not at all. That's pretty easy. I feel like I exist on a basic level as far as just approach about things. As long as we have that, we could, have interactions and we could, progress and move on. It'll be you speed. As Flex would say, slow down so I can understand what you're saying. My ears are slow.
You said basic level. Something about basic level. What you said about basic?
Basic level about like, okay, typical boy meets girl. We talk, we see
How about
things.
boy meets boy? Sounds more interesting.
No, but that's where my mentality is. Like, I know that when I am dealing with a dude, I still know I'm dealing with a man, but I'm not treating him like he's a woman. But the same things you could share and have with a woman without treating him any less, because that is a man you're dealing with. We can have the same connection and principles without stepping out of line where one is less or one is more than what they have to be.
So,
But most people don't exist on that continuum. So I like to consider myself an anomaly that exists outside of it, but that doesn't make me special. It just makes me different.
So, Rob, when you find a masculine dude like yourself, is there any role playing, or you both are just on equal level?
We're on equal levels. We're two men. Nobody's more dominant or more submissive. I don't get with people because I want to dominate them or I want to be dominated and be submissive towards them. But basically, the same energy that I could pull to do those things and be whatever it takes to be a man, I'm expecting more or less the same thing, pretty much.
So like when you're like, say you're using an AC outlet, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's there's the I don't know what it's called, the power cord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the wall outlet. Now, if you both have power cords or power, whatever it's called, how do you have any fun?
How do you have fun? You can have fun. I mean,
I didn't describe that well. Sorry.
Well, no, I know, but I understand what you meant though. It's easy because I've been in situations, yeah, and I hate to call it like that, but I guess when I did identify as a top, I was with another top, and we had fun times without nobody having to fuck or get fucked or penetrate. And sex is more than just we could fuck. If I wanted to just do nothing but fuck, I would stay with women because women have pussies. They're the only ones who could take a dick.
Do you like dominant women? Like a dominating?
I won't say no, not dominating, but a woman who's not afraid to be herself, to be like she could do things. Cause a woman could be a boss, she could be a boss character too. She, but she don't have to be the traditional or what was the girls we were talking about last week? The city girl mentality.
You like the city girls?
Nah, I'm not a fan of that, and quite frankly, they would have to step their game up to try to get a bag from me.
So you like the more feminine, dainty type, always wearing pink?
She could be a homegirl type girl, like who. I'm not trying to quote one of her songs, but the way what did Jay-Z say? He said, "Ladies is pimps too." They could do the thing, but they could do it the way a woman stands supposed to be. Like I like a gangster chick to be a gangster chick the way a female's supposed to be a gangster, but she's not trying to be a dude. Some of them try to, get on that level of, being dudes, but no, be you the way a woman's supposed to be on that. And you can, do, you know what I'm saying? And some of them know what they're doing. They do it right and they do their job good. It's just that I don't have the luck to run into those type of women.
Would you be so kind to name two of each? What type of female, being you're bisexual, turns you on, you would like to be with? What type of male? Celebrities that are out there today.
Females. I like the way Nia Long looked in the Friday movie, the first one she did, and I mean she still aged pretty good, but I prefer that look better, and that's with short hair. I prefer somebody with either a medium shoulder length to long hair, and then of course A. Marie, those legs of hers is.
A. Marie?
Yeah. Just the way she carries herself, like it would take a female of that caliber to really get my attention. Though that's the kind of female I would actually be that good dude for. That they looking for a good man, yeah, I would work to be with that type of woman. But if I can't get that particular woman, I feel like what's the point? Then I'm just gonna be a dog the way certain men are because I'm not really with the kind of woman I want to be. So then I would have to pick 3 or 4 other women to compensate what she's lacking, and like I don't want to be that kind of man.
What about on the male side?
On the male side, Now again, I'm only giving preferences as far as like what you see. Doesn't mean I actually like would want that particular individual, but I'm attracted to their style, how they carry themselves, and I see myself like again, it would take that type of dude to make me feel like I could kick it with you. Now you're gonna really make me think about this.
You never thought about it before? You no questions?
No, I do, but like people on that level tend to be more work to do with, so I deal with kind of like the next level down. Like if I can't get what I want mainly, then I'll do instead of getting 100%, I'll settle for like 80 or 75, but I won't go no lower than that.
Now, are you attracted to strays?
No. Mm-mm.
You don't like strays?
Nope. All right.
I don't know if that's a negative term or not. I'm just quoting.
No, I read his. That was the last one. And then I answered her. So I think she was on the call.
Yeah, someone called in the phone call. No, someone you were reading in the phone call came in.
Yeah.
You didn't finish.
No. I'm gonna touch it on Calvin Green's. Like he said it was about the gym thing, about people, moving around in public and how you can make people uncomfortable and give people the wrong impression about, homosexuality.
What did you paraphrasing?
He said, no, I mean, I'm paraphrasing what I said to answer his question, but what he said that's true, and it's bad for other gay men moving in the public place because, people will look at you and be like, oh, because of that bad experience that they seen another person do.
That's another one of those.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's one of those.
What up, Shamrock Little? What up? Good evening to you too, my man.
Well, that's the new code word for all the straights. You can't say faggot, sissy, or something like that. You go, oh, one of those. You get away with that, HR. One of those.
But that's still kind of derogatory and hurtful.
I'm just joking. Come on.
No, not you. I'm talking about them saying that. Yeah, trust me, I know that.
Rob told me what to say. I'm good.
Say again.
SGL.
Hold on. Say again.
SGL is good. SGL is good to say.
Do they use that term in HR?
No.
SGL and QTB.
Yeah.
The whole alphabet. No disrespect.
Not too much. I prefer SGL too. I mean, when I first heard it, what up, Martin?
But you can't just prefer SGL because you have transgender, you have queer, you have bisexual.
What the heck is queer? Please, any queers out there? I
have the definition.
When it comes to the mic, No, they can't hear you on radio. What you saying?
I said.
I can only hear you in my headphones.
You can already hear me in my headphones. I said
Your mic is open over there.
That's fine. It's SGL.
SGL.
Yeah.
Loving.
QTB.
Now what's the
QTB?
Transgenders. You have queers. You have bisexuals.
What the heck is a queer? I want to understand. What is a queer? I've never been called a queer.
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, no, she's gonna give you the exact definition. But
whose definition is she gonna give you?
This is what at my workspace, this is what we were issued as how to identify these groups.
So these are queers describing what a queer is.
No, it's a whole list of categories that.
It is.
Is it straight people making these definitions?
I don't know.
I want to know who the author
DNA.
of this information. No, I want who the heck was this bum called Webster?
But I'm gonna give you.
I messed it up. Hold on.
I'm gonna give you a summary of what I believe it is.
Okay. So I'm sorry. It's LGBTQIA.
Wow. I thought that the Q was the last thing I remembered.
So the letters refer to lesbian.
You're on the radio.
Hi guys. Okay. So the letters refer to lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning. I was wrong. It's not queer. They changed it to questioning. Intersex and asexual.
What's intersex?
Interracial, I guess.
No.
I heard that, but I never really, elaborated.
We learned what it was, but I'm gonna give you the correct definition.
I like the Q for a question. I like that. Better than queer.
Yeah.
What the heck is queer?
That's what I said. Let me pull out what it is. All right, I'm gonna tell you what an intersexual is. Hold on a minute, because we actually have to do these trainings. We have to.
Yeah, I had to learn that too a little bit, but I didn't learn all that. I knew all the meanings up into Q when it meant queer.
I can't believe it's almost that time, bro. Wow, the time is flying by.
All right, Google just kicked me out, so I don't know. You're gonna have to.
It's the building. The building is jealous of our phones for some reason.
Intersexual, existing or occurring between sexes, relating to or having the condition of being intermediate between male and female. That's what they define intersexual.
Oh no, they're transitioning.
Yeah, possibly. Okay. They're in between both sexes.
Okay.
So, Wikipedia says intersexual people are born with sex characteristics, including genitals, gonads, and chromosome patterns that do not fit typical binary notions of male or female bodies. Intersex is an umbrella term used to describe a wide range of natural bodily variations. In other words, I'm a chick, but I may have some body parts that look like a dude.
Oh, that sounds like hermaphroditic almost. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, I learned something new. Wow, I never knew
So,
that.
and it gives you the definition. What's the difference between hermaphrodite and intersexual? In the past, the word hermaphrodite was used to describe people who have sexual characteristics that are both male and female. But today, many people prefer to use the word intersex. So it is a hermaphrodite.
Wow.
Did I pronounce that right? So hey, so that's something else. Got it right.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah, but it's LG. Well, see, I messed it up.
LGBTQ and then all the other letters in the alphabet.
Right.
QIA. I'm glad it's not QCB.
You left the light on.
So let's keep it plain. SGL, S for same, G for gender, and L for loving.
That's
But then you're being
Gender,
dismissive.
loving.
You're leaving some people out. You cannot do that.
No, we're saying if you like the gender of the same.
No.
No, I understand what Charm is saying. Yes,
You're
because some
leaving.
people don't identify. Like there's males who feel like they don't identify with being male. They think that they're women, and vice versa. There's women who identify I want to be a male.
Like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the story of Penelope. That's the story. Basically talking about people. Explain the story of people who are born a boy or girl and don't identify as that. So the little girl is born as Penelope, but she doesn't identify as a girl. Everything she does, she feels she's a boy.
Mhm.
Or she's a boy. Doesn't she feel she's a boy?
She's a boy now.
Right.
Who she born sexually? A boy or
She's a little girl. We ain't get there yet.
Oh.
She's a little girl. DNA.
Too advanced.
We're now into the Venus versus Mars hour, switching into
We're transitioning.
I want to hear more.
I mean, I'm done, but I mean, basically, it's
I want
just
to hear about Penelope.
yeah. Penelope is a little girl. Her family decided to open up their story maybe 5-6 years ago, or a little further, and they just explained. I won't say hardship, but just understanding Penelope as Penelope, even though Penelope is a boy. At heart, everything, there's nothing you can say that she's not a girl.
That's how she feels inside. Yeah.
Right, she feels as though she's a boy. So they had to adapt to that lifestyle,
No, some parents are pretty good. Like I've seen another story where parents actually, mind you, a little girl like 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 at best. The little boy wanted to be a girl that they did the right opportunity to give him like the hormones so that he could have it, so that by the time he got into his teenage years, he looked exactly like a real girl.
See, that's just a lot. That goes back to, because when you start changing your body, that is so like unreversible.
No, yes, especially, but to do it when you're young is better because then you're giving your body, because your body is still fresh with those hormones about being able to transition to be either male or female if you want. But in adult life, when you do it, I think it's a lot worse. And then some people feel like, oh, they want to go back, but you can't go back.
I just think that it's good that parents stop. It's a hard thing to accept because we all have these expectations for our kids. I think it's more important that we love more and bash less. So I'm just happy that instead of like making her dress in a dress when they realized that it was making her miserable, she's not one of those who are now on a suicide watch or self-medicating because she can't take it. So that's
So she want to wear the how do you call it, the baggy jeans and stuff? She want her underwear?
No, she's little. Penelope is little.
That's too advanced. Let her get at least 10. Let her get 10. Let her get 10.
Teenage years
I'm
with the
sure
story.
she's not the only one in this galaxy. There must be more like her, right?
I'm sure, but that's just the story that began the big conversation. Because when you look at it, we have New York State made a big decision in 2016. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But a few years ago, they decided to have transgender, unisex bathrooms.
Yes.
Big controversy. What do you mean? And the question became, well, what if I want to be a boy today and a girl tomorrow? So all of those things coming into play, this is like groundbreaking for us. What do you mean we have, even though we've gone to clubs with unisex bathrooms, right? We've all been in clubs with 40-40, shout out to Jay-Z. We've all been in clubs with unisex bathrooms, but they're here. My kids now.
Tunnel.
Right.
Well, I haven't been to the tunnel since my teenage years.
The tunnel's closed. We're not going to talk about it.
I know.
But,
stop.
And we forget that in daycares, our kids use the same bathrooms. But you know, I mean, there are issues behind it. I get both sides. You
Oh,
know?
and daycare, they use the same bathrooms in daycare?
Yeah, it's unisex. They just have a toilet. Like,
Yeah,
there's,
they just
they
have
don't
little walls. They have little walls. They have short little walls because they're short. They're little people, and they tell them, "Well, you go in first, or they may let them boy go first,
What up,
girl go
Sean
first,
Falcon?
boy go
Thank you
first,
for
girl go
viewing,
first."
man.
And that's that. But anyway, people, thanks for letting me crash.
Yeah, anytime, yo. It's always good to have your expertise about things. It's always good to have a woman's touch and perspective about certain things.
Right. Would you be so kind to just close out with
Sure.
your statement for your program, please?
All right. Again, like I said, my topic was about presentation and preferences. If y'all want, I could talk to you about some other time. But in closing, again, this is DNA Radio, and I'm representing BU and BU Nation. This is your host, Rockman. You can tune in every Saturday at the new time. My show will start at
6:30.
Yes, 6:30.
6:30.
Followed by Venus versus Mars
Coming up next
at 8:00.
And then the True School show starting Nate 225 and up in a few hour and a half.
Yeah.
Don't want to wait, Tom.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going
I want
anywhere.
you to do something real quick before I switch to music.
Oh, you want to be nice to me today? Oh, I'm back in the club.
I talked to him for you.
I love to hear how you read things.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Please.
You,
I want to hear everything.
oh, okay.
I love hearing my own words.
DNA.
Outside of,
DNAradio.net presents BU and BU Nation with your host, Star Rock, aka Rockman, every Saturday at 5 p.m. BU is a live, interactive radio program for our brothers and sisters within the SGL, same gender loving community, and the gay LGBTQ community. Be you and always be true to thyself. To be true to thyself takes courage. It requires you to be introspective, sincere, open-minded, and fair. It does not mean that you are inconsiderate or disrespectful of others. It means that you will not let others define you or make decisions for you that you should make for yourself. Be You on DNAradio.net is a radio program to help support and uplift our brothers and sisters within our SGL, same gender loving, and DL download communities. We are human beings who have a life, not a so-called lifestyle. BU is not a radio program that gives away any of our SGL or DL intimate secrets within our community or anything of that nature. So please understand, we at BU are not trying to be so-called superhead / tell-all program. Furthermore, BU is not a gossip type program such as TMZ, Page Six, or Wendy Williams. Leave my girl out of it. We, the BU and BUNation.net family, come to you in love, peace, and support. One love. I'm your host,
Rockman,
aka Rock.
and this is my girl Tom right here.
Is that too wordy? I just want to know.
I mean, it is a book, but we'll work with it.
It's like, we need to edit it down.
It's like the preface to a book right now, but you know what, DNA?
But it made it plain.
Who better than you?
It makes it plain.
But I think his line is a lot better than what you hear when Jerry Springer says, "Take care of yourself and each other." When he says all that
I
crazy
think
crap.
you need to just start like BU is a radio station.
See, it's not that easy. Look at you.
But no,
I'm gonna tell you.
But she read that like a professional, though. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little shy. Okay, I'm gonna
What
take.
you trying to say, Rob?
No. It's a pleasure to hear somebody read my writing because it's hard for me to read my own stuff.
But just as simple as BU on DNAradio.net is a radio program to help support and uplift our brothers and sisters of the LGQTI.
So you just LGQ.
She switched it up a little bit.
I just want to say that. All right. So this is the closing remark on BU. BU on DNAradio.net is a radio program to help support and uplift our brothers and sisters within our SGL, same gender loving, and DL download communities.
Period.
Peace and support. One love. I'm your host,
Rockman,
aka Rock. We be you and BUNation.net.
We be you.
We the B.
We be you.
All right, so let's continue to be right. We, the BU.
Oh, wait, stop. Let me get your copy. I want to read your copy. I
Who, mine?
want to follow her. Yeah, I want to follow her.
I gotta do it again.
I just want to look at it while you're reading.
Okay, So, BU on DNAradio.net is a radio program to help support and uplift our brothers and sisters within our SGL, same gender loving, and download communities, DL. We, the BU and BUNation.net family, come to you in love, peace, and support. One love. I'm your host,
Rockman.
aka Rock. Good night.
It was almost sound as good as Don Cornelius.
Oh yeah.
Love, peace, and soul. Okay, there you have it. Thank you very much.
No worries.
All right, we're about to
Thank you very
start
much.
Love and Lust with Charm and my man Wiz. So.
Excuse me. Get it right. It's not Love and Lust. Love and Lust.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah.
Venus versus Mars. Wait, that's one of my favorite.
Nothing to do with it, Red Spice.
It happened to me too.
It wasn't me, Red
See,
Spice.
this is your fault, DNA. See, I'm so sorry, Sean.
Oh, Red Spice gonna get you.
I was calling Charm. I was
My
calling
bad.
Red Spice.
It's Venus versus Mars with my man
Wiz
Wiz
and
and
Charm.
Charm.
I don't know my
Who you
name.
right home with? Who are you right home with?
This is live radio and it happens, we get a little nervous down here. It happens to the best of us. Let's take a quick switch over from station to station, and the new show is starting in 2 seconds. We'll be right back.
The mitigated golf. I don't know how you get home tonight. There was a photo shoot outside today. I was like, dang, the Beamer, the Benz, and the Hummers.
Ready to new Kurt?
Huh?
Therefore,
No,
we
somebody.
respectfully ask everyone to be mindful of what you say and how you say it.
All right, this is fresh off the football strategy. What are you drinking?
Some water, some juice.
I thought you had some vodka in there.
Oh, not yet. That's for later.